When my daughter was born, I realized that the market was full of products with all kinds of harmful chemicals. So I created this line of all natural body care products. At Claire, we pride ourselves on using only natural ingredients for all our products. It's all 100% chemical free, and most of my products are even safe for baby use. We're passionate about inspiring people to become a more caring and kind society, and also one that cares for the environment. I guess it's like a unique calling, a life mission.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. And it seems like it's been a while. It's actually 2 weeks ago. We have been another show previously. Yeah, welcome to the Kindness Show by Claire Organics. And this is episode number 23. It's been so long. This is quite a number of seasons already, right? We are going to next more episode coming up and more exciting topics coming up your way as well. Right. This opportunity is to thank each and every one of you who has been with us from the very beginning. I can see you here as well, Xiaolian. Thank you so much, Kimberly and Steffi. Welcome to the show again with us. Right, for those who's here today, say hi to everybody. A quick reminder, if you haven't shared and tag, I see some of you started sharing and tagging friends. Hello, Alessandra, thank you. Hey, Mei Yu, welcome to the Kindness Show. Right, share and tag two friends to be eligible to have in the lucky draw prizes tonight. We have several prizes coming up. Right, for those who's joined us in the room today, extra perks for you. We have a special code to enjoy. Grab your free candy soaps, right? Free candy soaps with this special code, hashtag Claire23, because this is episode 23, all right? Only for today, okay? Okay, guys, now that's what's going on in the pandemic. Now that is the pandemic is going into the next phase with the MCO just got lifted, right? Our Claire Organics outlets are back to the usual operation hours. That is good news, isn't it? I know you miss us. I know you miss going to the mall, right? But I have been still working from home and I have been still staying at home, right? Many companies has begun to reopen. Wow, how many of us are back to office already, guys? Comment one that if you are have returned to office beginning of the month or it is few days ago. Many of the companies have reopened, right? And as we are entering into this another phase, some of us might be feeling a little lost. How many of you are feeling lost, guys? Comment and let us know. If you are feeling a little lost because you're staying too long at home, right? Well, this is also about time that we look at our whole new direction. This is why we have this very special topic tonight where we are gonna explore on your life's mission and your purpose to align yourself again to live a life that you desired. But how do we do it? Let's hear from our special guest tonight. And guys, please get all your questions ready. We will be opening up questions from the floor. Elaine Lu, hello, Priscilla. Thank you and welcome. And who's that? Still work from home, Xiaolian said. Yes, a lot of us, some of the companies, yeah, still, Kimberly's, they still work from home. Yeah. Well, back to the kind of show, a quick introduction of myself. My name is Louise, founder of Claire Organics. What is kind of show all about? We are here to inspire kindness in the world, we are here to bring the community together that cares for each other. The kindness show is here to remind all of us to simply start with loving yourself because kindness begins with yourself, right? On today's kind of show, we are so excited to bring you a special guest. Are you ready? Hello, Wendy. Welcome. Welcome to the Kindness Show. And to oh, Nisa. Hello, Nisa. Wow, a lot of um big supporter and friends today. Thank you for joining us. Wow, we are going to introduce our special guest today. I met her in one of my earlier years of Claire Organics. I remember joining her show NTV7 Bella. Right, guys, please join me. Put your hands together. Let's welcome our special guest of the day, Lisa Wong. Yay, welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so
Hello.
much. Thank you so much, Louise. What a wonderful video to start your show.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
I am Lisa Wong. I am a transformation coach, founder of Opeaklife, and a premium coach at Mindvalley. So I'm really excited to join you all and share what I have to share. Basically, being your best self and designing your best life.
Amazing. Guys, are you ready to design your life? Wow. Actually, I'm wondering what is Opeak Life all about. And I remember coming to your show NTV7 Bella many years ago. Being a TV host, how do you go about shifting your career from a TV host to who you are today?
Well, Louis, it wasn't an easy ride.
Mm,
To begin, let's just start where it all started, okay, my childhood.
mm,
So I came from a very difficult childhood. My dad left home when I was 4, and I never saw him again. Up till age of 6 years old, I was in 6 different babysitters' home, so including weekends and public holidays.
mm,
And coming from that environment, you kind of get feel abandoned. There's no doubt. You have a very absent parents, and at the age of 13, I was adopted by my mom's sister. And
mm,
life was constantly, you get to be very adult, like literally grown up. You have to grow up so quickly, coming from this sort of background. And what I've learned is that constantly pivoting. So, at the age of 7, I was already washing my own clothes and, taking the bus to school and being really independent. Uh, there is that resilience. There are a lot of good qualities that you build because you have to grow up so quickly. But
mm,
then there's also a part of you that lack a lot. For me, it's self-esteem. It's a sense of identity. I also come from mixed parentage, so being Chinese and Ceylonese sometimes doesn't really. If you have no grounding, if you have no guidance and direction from the people, the people that literally bring you into this world, but never were
mm,
for you there. It had a lot of pain. So
mm,
getting over and transforming those pains, the questions of, am I enough? Am I good enough? Am I loved? Do I have control? You sometimes give a lot of yourself because you're constantly searching for love. So you give a lot of self and you overgive. So you kind of lose your boundaries. So those are the things that I have to learn as an adult in my teen years. And because I had good adopted parents who gave me a lot, who gave me a home and an education. But the icky feelings, the icky emotions, I had to find my way out of it. So, pivoting into the field of broadcasting, it was my second job after university. And, coming from a background where I studied business and marketing and then going into broadcasting, you have to learn to be the broadcaster. I have to learn the skills. I have to be the person that knows how to interview people. So learning and pivoting and shifting who I am, having that courage and confidence to be in front of camera, to interview. I'm talking about prime ministers. I'm talking about legends of football. I'm talking about, people who are the top of the industries. So in that environment, I had to constantly search and pivot my identity. And but there are some parts where as you grow, from your 20s to your 30s, there are some parts that need direction from you, from where you are constantly learning. And so for me, it's constantly upgrading this operating system. At the age of 30s, my marriage fell apart because there were some emotions I didn't deal with. So in my work, my career, it was flying, but then my love life, I was giving too much into my career that I neglected my love life. So there were parts, not just me, but also my spouse, that we didn't really support each other. So it fell apart. And it came to a point where I was spending over 17 years in TV, doing over 26 different shows. And I thought to myself, there come a point where I felt I wasn't growing anymore as a person. And for me, that growth mindset was always important. So I was looking for something that I felt I was going to be contributing, making changes, and impacting others. That was going to be my next level of journey in life. And so I was searching, and I thought, I always felt this need to give back. And I thought, okay, what better way could be than, I've been through so much in life, right? So much horrors and so much struggles, that I thought, those are my journey, my gift. You have gift certificates, right? Those are my gift certificates to give back. So if I have come through them and I've changed myself so much and grown myself so much, I felt that these are my gift cards to others. And that's where I went into coaching. So I did 3 certifications and spending 3 years really deep diving into the fundamentals of coaching and how I can impact others, getting my cert and being ICF accredited. I launched into Opeaklife, and from there went into Mindvalley to become one of the premium coach to coach coachees from around the world. So this is my next journey, and this is my journey of giving back and also impacting others positively. So when you talk about why I come into coaching, it's because of this. It's because of I feel a need to impact and to share my story.
Amazing story that you have. Very inspiring journey indeed.
Oh, thank you.
And the fact that you from what your experience constantly pivoting and now here you are found your identity and you are into the journey of giving back. So inspiring, truly inspired. Now,
Thank you. Thank
this
you.
is about I'm amazed at how do you find yourself along the way, because in the some along the in different stages of your past experience, you have to constantly find yourself and that true identity in the different stages. And once and we are talking about living this life, the life that we desired. How do we identify ourselves and how do we find ourselves through identity? Right,
Okay.
this is where we learn to know ourselves in terms of our emotion and how to manage our own emotion, right, in terms of knowing ourselves inside out. So next is where we talk about how do you know yourself, right, finding our own
Yes.
identity.
Yes, that's
Right,
true.
take it from there.
So, Louise, for example, right, a lot of us, all of us have a childhood, right? You had one, and all of our viewers. So I want you to think about, how much of your childhood did you bring into your adulthood? Did you bring into today who you are? Did you bring intelligence? Did you bring consciousness? Did you define who you are? Did you define, all aspects of your life? So for us as a woman, so we have our identity, our character, right? And then we have our love life, which is our partner if you're in a relationship. If you aren't, but that's part. And then you have your social relationship. And then you have, your financial life, your career, your social life, your friendships, and then also you think about your health and fitness, your spirituality. And when I talk about spirituality, it's got nothing to do with religion. It's about thinking about your purpose. So have we given thought about why we are on this planet? You have obviously brought thought because of, your journey. You're building this brand and, giving back in so many natural ways, getting people to use healthy products, because you have a sense of purpose, you have a mission. Now, a lot of us were raised by our parents, in the best way our parents can possibly raise us. But, in terms of getting this knowledge about how to bring conscious beings, how to raise conscious beings, a lot of us inherit jobs, and a lifestyle that we have looked up to our parents and to the elders in our childhood, and see that's how we run our lives. How do we even accumulate money and build our wealth? A lot of times, if you look back as a coach, and I see my coaches, right, and doing so many coaching, is that we have inherited in terms of money beliefs from our childhood too. I'm going to go into that in depth, but talking about the self here, talking about how you build yourself. Did we bring consciousness? Did we even think to ourselves, as we enter into our 20s, what kind of job do I want? How do I want to build my wealth? How do I want to earn an income and build this portfolio and build financial independence? What kind of friendships do I want? Do I just take on the friends I have when I was in my childhood and then kind of bring them into my adult life, into my 20s, 30s, and then have this question, do all my friends support me? Am I the only one bringing positivity into my friendships? Am I getting that in return? Because what is friendship? Relationship is about meeting each other's needs, right? So if I'm meeting my friends' needs all the time, I'm bringing positivity, I'm picking up the check at the end of the meals every time we meet. Is that balance? Is that fulfilling me?
No.
So these are questions that do we even give thought to? My career, did I even give thought to what kind of job do I want? I'm spending so much time, I'm talking about 8 hours a day, right? A lot of us, if you have a full-time job, that's the number of hours we spend in our career. Can you imagine the bulk of that? That's your bulk of your life. So it's like, are you doing a work that you enjoy? Are you doing a work that you feel that you have potential to grow, that that you are showing some aptitude that you can get better at? Because when you get better at, you feel happy, right? Means you're also giving back more. You're building, you're getting a bigger income, perhaps a raise, and building your wealth. So these are questions that did we bring to our career? Financial life, so that's career, which money brings into generating this roof over your head, food on your table, children's education, and then building a portfolio of wealth. Have you brought thought to how you're going to be financially independent? Is KWSB the only thing that you rely on for your old age? Do you think about financial freedom? Do you think about instruments that you want to kind of invest to grow your money? Because growing it in just KWSB probably is just not enough for your old age. So getting smart, elevating your operating system, being aware, studying, pivoting, constantly just expanding in terms of your consciousness, your intelligence is really, really important. And I'm going to bring up, if you have any more questions, I'm just going to bring up this framework to show you and to give our audience some kind of guidance, on how we can design our life.
Right. Please take it from there. Guys, are you ready? To learn about
Okay,
how do
so
you
I'm going to
design your life.
rely on our beautiful Maggie and Steffi to bring up the slide.
Right. Guys, if you have questions, please start to flow in your questions, right? How do you Lisa has has been brought up all the good
Ah,
questions, right? Yet that we have never thought about all these kind of questions before. We have never asked ourselves before, right? What kind of friendship do you want? What kind of work that you enjoy, right? That's about constantly being aware and how do we do it? Lisa's gonna guide us on how do we do it, okay?
okay. So this is one of the programs I run at Opeaklife, my business, my company.
Mm.
Now it's called a trilogy of fulfillment. So having a fulfilling life. Now we hear this terminology so often, right? What is fulfillment? Fulfillment is something that gives you so much joy that you just want to live your life over and over again. You know, that you are happy. You know, a lot of times we think that, oh, that is just so far-fetched. Is that even achievable? I ask you, if you bring enough thought, enough consciousness, enough intelligence into the life that you have, into these three areas, this trilogy, you will find fulfillment. You will have fulfillment because you're living your life purposeful. You know, first you defined what you want. Okay. So what do you want? What is your goal? And this is where, you know, as a coach, I guide people to identify their purpose and their goals. Because a lot of times, you know, some of us know what we want in certain areas, but not in other areas because it's not clear, because we don't know enough to know what a fulfilling life is. We hear about it often, but when we're asked, sometimes we can come up with difficulty providing the answers. So that's where, you know, coaching really helps. Now, this is the trilogy where it starts with yourself. Okay, and then you have your quality of life and your relationships. These are the three trilogies. So moving on to this is the next part, which is the trilogy of fulfillment. So in the middle is where the self. And then you have the second ring, which is the quality of life. And then the third ring is the relationships. Now, why don't we start with the self? Because the self is where your character, is where who you are, how have you built yourself. Now, when we look over and see people around us, right? Let's think about some of the successful people that you think are successful. Okay, some individuals you can think of. I'm sure each of us will probably have different names. Now, who are they to live the successful life? You know, you probably know of them in the media, of what you see, the fashion that they dress, but who are they at the core? You know, how do they solve problems? How do they identify opportunities? What is their mindset when they are confronted with opportunities? Do they take it on? Are they fearful? Do they go all out? What do they think about their own potential? How do they think about their own intelligence? What is their response to stress, to disappointment? Now, these are all traits of characters, and it lies in identity, in the self. So the self comprises of who you are at the core, your identity, and then your health and fitness. Now, a lot of us, we have seen and heard so much, right, in mass media. The diets, you know, if there's a carb diet or, you know, having a lot of meat or intermittent fasting, or there's just so much out there. Some people believe in taking a pill to just stay healthy and slim. Some people work out. Now, I'm sure all of us have tried something. If it's not just diet, perhaps exercise, perhaps our workout regimen. You know, do we do a lot of cardio? Do we build strength? You know, do we have a good workout? Do we just use yoga as our form of movement? Is that enough to cultivate a healthy regimen of our body and mind? Now, if you think about why some people, right, fall off the health wagon, why are we not consistent? Some of us ask. You know, we take on this health goal, we stay on it for a month, and then we fall off. Why is it? Now I'm asking you, did you bring consciousness into this area of your life? Or you just kind of saw it in social media, on Instagram, it looks nice, right? That person looks happy, so I'll just try it. This healthy diet looks good. I've heard what that person say. I will take it on board, and then I fall off. It's because you never brought consciousness. Is it your own blueprint? Did you ask yourself, why do you want to be healthy? Everybody, I'm sure all of us, if we ask that question, will have a different answer. For a person who is spiritual, they may look at their body as a temple. Like for a person who's really grounded, they'll say like, okay, this is the one body that I have. I'm a mortal. I probably will only live till, if good old ripe age of 80s, I'm very happy, or 90s, whatever it is, then I will go off, right? We are all mortals. But a lot of us think of ourselves as immortals. We think life will go on because we never thought about our own death. If I ask yourself, what does your 85-year-old self, right? If you can see that 85-year-old person, think about your current health. Are you doing enough? So if let's say you believe that your body is a temple, you probably would treat it as a temple. You would inject food that are nutrient rich. You would drink a lot of water, that's sufficient. You would work out, you would move. If let's say you are a person, who feels like I'm a mother and I want to be healthy for my children. A lot of parents, they think that because they tell their kids to eat a lot of vegetables, and then their kids will probably adopt this belief, it's on a wrong track, because your children are emulating you. They see you as a role model. So in their subconscious mind, if they see you not eating your vegetables constantly or not loving your vegetables, they are going to pick that trait. If you talk to your kids about, having a lot of workout or exercising and being fit, but you are not living that life, your kid is probably not going to take that on board, because your kid looks to you as their role model, as what a human being is. They look up to you. They look up to your love relationship. How do you treat your spouse? They look up to you on how you work, how you operate in life. Those are going to become, a lot of times, their programming. So if you believe that being healthy, like, for me, my personal thing is that I don't want to be on a wheelchair, stricken with illness, if possible, if I can help it. That's why I work out. I don't want to rely on multiple pills and medication in my old age. That's why I work out. Because for me, my body is my temple. Some people, they want to be healthy so that they can show up at work full of energy. Now, if you believe that you are wanting to grow your wealth, having the ability to generate income on a high level. So if you're healthy and you show up to your peers at work, to your customers, to your boss, full of energy and vibrancy, do you not think that possibly could contribute to a lot of your wealth growth? So this is bringing consciousness. What is your health and fitness goal? What is your vision here for yourself? Let's not inherit what the culturescape, this whole entire society's programming, this whole parenting that we have inherited from our childhood. Let's forget, let's put them away, far away from us, and let's define our own health and fitness goals. Now, moving on to the next category of intellectual, do we apply thinking? And this is where I'm asking you, do you apply thought? Do you apply intelligence into this process? Do you apply thought about how you want to grow your wealth and financial independence? Spiritual, as I mentioned earlier, it's not about religion, but it's about your purpose. What is the reason you think that you are on this planet? What is the legacy that you hope to leave behind when you pass on to the next realm? Because we are all mortals, right? At the end of the day, we all will die. Now, the next category of time. So knowing that your time here on this planet is finite, it's not infinite. So it's finite. How do you want to spend your time on Earth? How do you want to spend your time with your family? How do you want to spend your time on your daily basis, showing up at work? If you're miserable at work and you come back home miserable, right, or stressed, or having a lot of icky feelings when you show up with your family, your loved ones, is this how you want to spend your time? And impacting others? in ways that you are? The next category, emotional. What are the emotions that you harbor on a daily basis? Are you mostly a happy person, or are you mostly stressed out, fatigued, tired, irritable, anxious? What is your emotional signature? So bringing this, this intelligence here, right, and changing this core is where you show up in the next category and the next category better. Because what? When we are better ourselves at the core, our identity, we impact our career, our relationships differently. So career, did we think about our job? Did we think about what we want to spend the rest of our lives doing? Did we think about doing something that we can grow, have an aptitude, and bring joy? Did we think about bringing value in our work? How our work is impacting our team, our customers? What do I want to bring to my customer? So let's say you're a project manager, right? How do you want to add value in your job to your bosses, to your company, and to the people who are deriving service from your work? So when you think about that, it really changes. It shifts the focus from someone who is miserable and negative to someone who is optimized and energized. Because what? Because if I show up, if I think about applying intelligence to this area, how I can add value to others, I'm going to be happier. I'm going to be more productive. The next category of financial. How do we see money? What does money mean to us? Now, this part is a huge win if you get it right. Because all of us, want to be wealthy, want to be rich, so that we can have a life of independence, right? So we can bring joy, have those holidays with our family, give that good education to our children, the opportunities to learn and grow. And then in our ripe old age, do whatever we want, not having to feel obligated to do a job and to show up at something that we are stressing about. We can feel happy if we have this nailed in, dialed in. So financial life. Now, I'm going to bring in some limiting beliefs here. And I want you to kind of gauge, is this something that you carry yourself? Now, I was actually brought up in a household where we view money as something that's hard to get. Oh, money, it's difficult. You have to work so hard for money. That's a limiting belief. Some people actually believe that money is the root of all evil. Like, if let's say you see a rich person, they probably harm somebody on their way to become rich. And the other part of money, having too much money, will make you a not so nice person. Those are beliefs that will limit you, because you know how? When you start earning and you gain and you accumulate money, you will probably sabotage yourself by, just shutting or limiting yourself, like holding back, because you don't want to be evil. You don't want to be seen as someone who has injured or hurt somebody else on your way up to financial success. So on the subconscious level, you may sabotage your wealth. You may be spending it all recklessly, or just giving up on that job or that extra income that's going to generate you wealth. So having this very healthy beliefs about money, what it means to you, and how you're going to grow your financial future impacts either you're going to become a rich person, or somebody who's going to be moderately okay, or somebody who's going to be struggling all the time with money. The next part is pleasures. Pleasures of life means, the adventures, the travels, the things that you own, from the clothes to the plates, to your car, to the house, to your space. So having consciousness about what makes you joyful, what brings pleasure into your life, is really important, because all work and no play, is that a fulfilling life? Now, Coming to the third trilogy, your relationships, right? Your love relationship. Who you are with your spouse. Are you growing your love relationship? The first 2 years, as we all know, in courting, where the relationship blossoms, always beautiful, right? Or the first 6 months or the first year, for each of us, it's different. But then it comes the normalcy, right? Where the relationship settles into a routine, a rhythm. Are we injecting new vitality? Are we growing? Are we spending time with our partners? Are we taking holidays? Are we making little adventures at home to grow the love? Because if you aren't, then don't blame it for derailing, for having communication problems. Did you grow your communication? Did you put thought into, how you're going to solve problems at home? How are you going to solve disagreements with your spouse? When someone is irritable, do you give space to the other person? Are you constantly are you someone who is constantly in need or needy? Those are awareness of yourself and your spouse, and bringing constant communication to heal and to grow, so your love relationship becomes so strong that it becomes a magnificent one. When you have a great love life, everything flows in your life. You know that. You are happier, you show up at work happy, your kids are happier. And they look at your love relationship as a model. How my parents treat each other is how I'm going to grow up to treat, another. So just be very conscious about how you bring intelligence and consciousness into all these areas, right? So, and then you have your friendship, we talked about it earlier, and then leadership, how do you want to grow this part, and then your family. So these are all the trilogy of fulfillment. And at the very core of it is it's the identity. Who are you? How do you view stress? How do you view potential? Do you know your own potential? How do you see opportunities? How do you relate? How do you identify disappointments? How do you counter disappointments? What are your traits? How do you propel yourself in life? So building that identity, shifting that, is how you're going to manifest successfully in all areas, from your health, intellectual, to your career and financial, to all your relationships. So shifting that is crucial. And these are the drivers of identity. Beliefs, purpose, your thoughts. What are your thoughts every day? Are your thoughts aligned to your identity, to who you are, to who you want to become? So if I talk about, say, Claire, this Claire brand, right? And Louise, you had to, from a mother, pivot into this entrepreneur, right? To build this business. So to become that entrepreneurial person, right? Who do you have to pivot to? What kind of belief system do you have to adopt? What kind of characteristics do you have to take on? Courage, discipline to your business, empathy to your clients. So those are part of the identity that we cultivate, right? And that manifests in the belief and the purpose and the thoughts and the action. What you do, what you think, what's in alignment to your success, to your goals. So it's all about growing yourself, shifting your identity. It's about planting this new plant and having those new roots blossom so you can grow to become this beautiful flower. And these are all about, working on with a coach, and I'm not trying to sell here, but I'm asking you to think about, having your clarity of thoughts in your categories of life. Do you have a concrete plan to move yourself from where you are to where you want to go, and develop a goal achievement plan to stay consistent, to stay motivated to your goals? Do you procrastinate? And do you find yourself being held back by fears, overwhelm, anxiety, and beliefs that limit you? So this is where this extraordinary work of coaching helps. So I'm going to come back to us so that Louise can ask me in the next question.
Wow. Guys, any questions for Lisa? I believe you have learned so much during the guidance that we have just have from Lisa just now. Let's hear from some of you. Let's see. I think they are just commenting to what you said.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly. I do believe that, parents are the closest person, that influences all the time. All the time. Your kids are looking up to you, how you define yourself. Your work, is my mom a work person, and her attributes, the relationships around her to her husband and to everyone around, they emulate. So bringing that thought, and when you want to be like, let's say, for example, right, goals, right? I want to become a better parent. I want to become a more successful person at work, and define your goals. So if, let's say, you are a project manager, what's your next goal in your career growth? Do I want to become perhaps the head of department? I have no idea. What's your next level up? So that part, and then who if you want to build a business, what kind of person builds a business successfully? What traits do they have that I now need to inject into my identity? So there's a gap there, right, Louise, right? From who you are 10 years ago, 15 years ago, before you built Claire, you had to learn all these attributes in your identity. You shifted and pivoted a lot to become a successful entrepreneur. So if, let's say, you have to squash all those years, right, and make it like an accelerated program, right, so that somebody else can learn, so they don't have to go through that number of 10 years that you went through, and then they can just come down, to that program where they can learn to shift quickly to become that successful person, to have all these attributes and grow themselves, right, and don't have to go through that struggles of that journey that you went. Then, that's where the whole fundamental of the identity shift comes in. How do you grow yourself quickly? How do you close that gap of who you are right now to who you see that goal, right? That Louise and in that Claire, 10 years with that business, multiple stores, in every area, I don't know, in Kuala Lumpur, in Klang Valley. So becoming that person, closing that gap is where shifting is, pivoting is.
Do I find myself to look up to the next 10 years of myself and find the identity? Start injecting it right now already?
Yes. So to know what you need. So if, let's say, you see yourself, right, Louise, what is your next goal? If I have to ask you, what is your next, in Claire?
I want to go global.
Global. Exactly. Okay. So global, how many stores? Where do you want to be present? In what countries, right? So let's say you want to grow. What's the number of stores that you want to grow to? Do you have a figure?
Say 50.
50 stores worldwide. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so you're going to be like literally from where you are right now to that entrepreneur, right? To that businesswoman, right? Now it's going global. Who do you have to become? Because now you're talking about global clienteles, global operations, in every country. So who do you have to become? What kind of skills that you have to pick up, in terms of your identity? Who do you have to shift to now? Having more courage, having more, resilient and strength to operate and show up and bring those skills to where you can actually talk to different people from around the globe and manage an operation. Now that vision of now delegation, right, to perhaps people that you see who can manage it for you so that you can continue to grow your business. So having all those insights, there's a gap there, and then seeing where you are and closing that gap with coaching. So if you don't have a booklet or a manual to tell you how to do it, you got to figure out yourself, right?
I'm gonna walk another 10 years to get there. Now I have to just close the gap and get there soon.
Yes. So acceleration. So if you don't accelerate your growth, you don't want to wait 10 years, because how much time do you have right now? What's your age, right? So if you don't want to close that gap and accelerate your growth, that's where you kind of look up to perhaps a business coach or someone who can drive you, who have the experience to get you there faster.
Yes. It's all about accelerating and close that gap. Now we get that. Right.
Yes.
Wow. Sophia said, I wrote my goals in dream chart. Okay.
Yes,
That's
I
nice.
love that, Sophia. That's what I did. So about 7 years ago, before I became a coach, and I was just not even thinking of becoming a coach yet, but I knew what I wanted to become. Because of the person I was then, I wasn't really happy with who I was. You know, I was achieving career success, and you know, I have families who love me, and I care for them. But at a fundamental level, I didn't feel fulfilled. Like, if you have to ask yourself, are you fulfilled? Do you feel happiness at an extraordinary level every day? I didn't have it then. And I told myself, I actually drew a chart. I actually pinpointed 7 things and I pasted on the wall. And you know what? A year ago, on my birthday, my friend who came to, she visited me many, many years ago at that time, sent me that photograph of what she took on the wall. And I looked at it on my birthday and I actually cried because I now know I'm actually living that. Because I have really transformed, made sure that what I wrote become my reality. And you know, now how I see challenges, how I see you know, failures or mistakes, it's very different from back then. So in terms of what you need to learn, right, to stay motivated, to stay encouraged, to stay optimistic, to stay positive, what do you need? You know, so it's shifting a lot in the mind and in the emotions and in the identity part. Now, can I point out something that Sweli Chua or Shweli Chua, if I say your name correctly, I'm sorry if I got it wrong. It's always difficult to stay motivated to one goal. Any tips for that, right? Yes, if let's say, you know, if you know your purpose, right, Shweli, if you know, okay, what is your purpose for health, right? If it's just to look good, it's not gonna be powerful enough. You know, if it's just to look good in clothes, you know, that's not. If you find something that's fundamentally strong, because I can have more energy, because I don't have to get sick, it's because I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be grief-stricken or illness-stricken when I'm in my old age. I will start now. I will pick up that running shoes and I will go for a run because I don't want to be that person, right? Ill and stricken, right? So the motivation, what drives you, that purpose has to be strong to push you to do the things. You feel that energy and it's instant, it's spontaneous, you know? Yeah. So
Do you think? Sorry.
go ahead. What is that question, Louise?
Add on to what you just mentioned about that, how do we stay consistent? How do we find that purpose? And do you think that the pain that we're trying to run away from is stronger than the carrot in front?
Okay, so this is the carrot and the stick, right? So yes, that's a method of coaching. So you know about it. I think you pointed out the carrot. So what's your goal? What's the drive, the positive drive, right? What's at the end that you're looking at? And then the stick, it's what you don't want. So the stick could be, I don't want to be ill. I don't want to be in a position where I feel stressed and I have to think about money. So that now I'm thinking about how I'm going to grow my financial wealth, you know, my financial independence. I'm going to bring more thought and consciousness. I'm going to probably see a financial planner, you know, and look at how I'm going to grow my money. Am I wasting money? Am I taking care of my money? Am I being a saver, you know, and save in the right places? So all this thing is bringing a lot of thought and consciousness. And that's the carrot and the stick, you know, what I don't want to be. If let's say you don't want to be, you know, you don't want to be poor or, you know, stressed about finance, then that could be a drive for you to constantly be motivated to stay to your financial goals. Yeah. But have a very clear idea. And if you have to, paste it on the walls. Make it something that you come in contact with every 24 hours.
Very good idea. You put the steak and the carrot on the wall.
Yes.
That's a very strong reminder that you have to see it every day. Why? I think people are coming in and they're commenting well, and they're learning from Lisa, all the fantastic guides. While talking about career, shifting the focus and optimize, and you mentioned that when you shift the focus, someone finds that to be optimized and more energized, that you will be happier and will be more productive. Perhaps, do you think when they find out about the value that they have in the work, the impact that they're going to bring to the team, that is it's going to impact their career as well, right? And I like what you mentioned on your financial belief system as well. Talking about pandemic,
about losing jobs, a lot of people, and coming back to the office as well. And when the offices are reopening, and people are feeling weird going back to the office, are we going to have a whole new directions? What's going to happen in the office next? Right, a lot of different questions are coming in. So loss of directions, as well as maybe many of us might want to looking at starting new career or doing something whole new difference from the past, right? But
Mm,
how do we define that? How do we find that career, or even start a new career, or how do we maintain the career during the pandemic,
okay.
right?
So how we see career has really changed, right? During the Spartan days, right? And we're talking about a
Mm,
way, way long time, ancient days. You literally have, when you're born, your job is decided if you're a boy
mm,
or a girl. Today, we can choose literally anything we want to do, anything. And that's the
mm,
variety and the choice. So bringing some thought into this is really crucial. So let's say you have done something that that you feel hasn't brought you fulfillment, right? You end up going to work every day feeling that you have to drag your feet. Is it the work? Do you love the
mm,
work, or is it the company? Is it the environment? Now, if you have to pinpoint everything external, right? What's around you, what's outside of you, have you actually pointed into yourself and see what's internal? You know, is it me that I have to pivot? Maybe the company is good, but I'm just not, finding my purpose in the company. Have I given thought to this? Have I become so jaded that I'm running the hamster wheel constantly every day? I've got my children to take care of, my parents, and I get to work and I'm so stressed out or tired. I'm not getting enough sleep, and so I'm not performing. And I'm finding these tips with my colleagues and my boss, and I'm finding all the reasons to be miserable. So I'm asking you, is it, what kind of answers are you getting? And be very honest and true to yourself. Is it you or is it the environment? So if it's the environment, then perhaps something to change, to look into, perhaps having a plan. Because if, let's say, you're dependent on it financially for the short time, stick with it, but look out for something. Look out for something that would fulfill you, that make you happy. Because work is something that we devote so much of our energy and our time, that we want to be happy and fulfilled and not feel miserable, because then it will not make you feel, it will not grow your success in your career and your financial, and your relationships will suffer because you're not happy at work and you show up at home not being that person that you want to be. So having been very conscious of that. Now, if let's say it's you, okay, it's because I love my job. All right, this is what I want to do. I see myself really growing in this. I have the talent, I have the aptitude, but perhaps it's just me feeling jaded, me feeling that running the hamster wheel constantly is taking me this energy. So how do I get back into balance? Do I need to take time off and do self-care? Do I need to see someone to help me with me in my emotional, just to get things out, to clear things? Do I need therapy? Do I need a coach? These are questions you bring consciousness to, and then journal this. So I would suggest everybody journal, because journal is literally penning down things in your mind without editing. And then when you see what you are writing on a daily basis, it will bring clarity. And then you go like, okay, you know what? I've been journaling about this. I'm seeing all these pages every day I'm writing, right? And it's me that needs to shift. So what do I need to shift? What do I need to grow? Perhaps I will just go and, who do I look up to in this area? So for example, being a better leader at work. I love my job, but I'm just tired. I'm fatigued. I'm anxious. I'm irritable because I'm always stressed. I'm always giving. My time is no longer my time because my bosses demand this. Where do I draw the line? Where do I take in self-care? Where do I kind of put myself first now? So it's probably asking time from your boss, to, I don't know, having this demarcation where it's blocked. So this time is for me. Your weekends, give 2 hours to yourself where you take self-care. If it's lying in a bathtub, with a bubble bath, or just reading your book, having a nice cup of tea, being somewhere just alone, or with someone that you respect and truly enjoy spending time with, do those stuff. if you do it a few times, you would find your balance. You would find that, that this sense of semblance, this sense of groundedness. And when you are grounded, you think better. So could it be you? Could it be the environment? Have a chat with yourself. Bring some alone time, journal this, and see where you go, see what answers come up, because for each of us, it's a different story.
Right, I like that to journal down on a daily basis, have a self-check that can really bring clarity on what do you want and what is holding you back, what are you being so jaded of, right? That is
Mm.
very, very useful. But being said that, easier said than done. How many of you are doing that, guys? Well, not
Louise,
doing it now.
about making effort, right? And this is the whole thing. If we expect something to just be as it is and we expect a different result, that is just foolishness, right? Even Albert Einstein said it. If you
Oh.
don't change something, but you expect something to be different for you, that is just
Mm,
insanity. So you have got
mm,
to change. You have got to level
mm,
up. You have got to elevate your operating system, see things and have insights, new insights, expand your perspective. And how does that come
mm,
about? Talking to people who are more intelligent, who you feel like who can really give new insights to you. So have new circles,
mm,
read, podcast, whatever it is. You have to get something that's different. You have to apply something different in your life, because if you are just going to be that person, live your life the way you are doing it constantly every day for the next 5 years, I can go by that nothing much is going to change. So the whole law of thermodynamics, right? The principle of entropy. What is entropy? If you don't inject vitality into everything, anything and everything, your handphone, your health, your relationships, your career, even your laptop, even the phone that you're using to watch this, if you don't take care of it, you don't inject vitality and care, it's going to disintegrate into disorder, right? Everything. So the whole law of, or the principle of entropy is that without new energy, without effort, without new vitality, it is going to disintegrate into disorder. So things have got to change. What has to change?
yeah, but to realize what needs to be changed, first you need to
Mm,
see yourself first, to know yourself. Right, I like that. To inject vitality and care, you need that energy and effort to make that change. I like that
yes.
Albert Einstein's quote. Wow, guys, it's time for giveaway. Wow, are you guys been enjoying what Lisa has been teaching us? All these very informative guidelines in achieving your life, your desired life. Wow, lucky draw. I love Lisa. Guys, key in your keyword. I love Lisa. And starting from now, what is it about? Wow, Lisa will bring us through. What is the prizes that we're giving?
Okay. So, Louise, this is the 3 free sessions of Get Rid of One Limiting Belief, and it's worth
Wow.
100 USD for each of this. One person will take on one lucky draw, so one free session. So we have
Wow.
3 of this to give away. And anybody who wants to
Three
get rid of
winners.
a limiting belief, a limiting belief is something that actually hides in your subconscious programming that you don't even know of, that you're not conscious about. So it could be the one thing that's holding you back from growth in your life or from success or from happiness. So it's when you
Mm.
work with a coach and you identify and uncover this basically breaks the chain that holds you back from success.
Wow. Is to go into your subconscious to identify what's holding you back. Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing,
So that's a
amazing.
process. Yes.
Yeah. Wow, I love Lisa. That is limiting belief. So that is something that is we call it oftentimes it's been hidden in the subconscious. Is that
Mm.
how we see it? That's why we
Yes.
don't realize it.
Yes. Yes. A lot of times, when we ask ourselves, I have fear, right?
Mm,
Or you feel fearful. Let's say you have a promotion or taking on a project at work, right?
mm,
And you feel like, okay, am I good enough for this? Can I
mm,
do this? And when you ask
mm,
yourself that, there is a deeper at the core, a limiting belief that's holding you back. So what is it? When did it happen? How did it occur? So it's
mm,
going through that process of coaching to uncover, and then you break that chain so that you feel more energized to move forward in your life.
mm. Make that change and move on with your life. Guys, first winner, Safra. Wow, congratulations, Safra. Wow, that's our first winner. Second, we have two more coming up. Wow. Kimberly Chong. Yeah. Third one will be announced by Lisa.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Kimberly. Who's the third one? Lisa to announce. Wait for the screen. Wow. Who's the third
Oh,
one?
congratulations, Maureen.
Maureen. Congrats. Well, okay, guys, please contact our PM, our Facebook, with your details. You'll be connecting with Lisa soon. Congratulations. Looking forward for the next change, the next new you, when you uncover your subconscious limiting belief. That's amazing. I want that. Well,
Well,
it's important to know ourselves, right? What is
Mm.
it? And it's not easy to get into that subconscious. Very
Yes,
hard actually.
yes, because sometimes you are all the time you are in the jar, right? So if you're in the jar, you can't see
Mm.
the label. So, for
Oh.
it's someone outside of you who can actually see it and who has the skill to identify it and help you break that chain. Mm.
Mm. Okay. So we are in the jar. We cannot see the label. That is how you bring it. Amazing. Wow. Okay, we've identified the area that you how you know yourself, and we cover the financial, a bit of financial, and also the career, and let's get into family, right? The family part, as and you mentioned a bit of family just now. Like the children, they
Mm.
see us parents as role model, right?
Mm.
And how do we actually help our children to find their purpose or their true identity? While we are parents, we don't know our true identity.
So
And we have to
it's
find ourselves purpose first.
yes, yes, because they see how you do your life. So
Mm,
as parents, if let's say you journal and you have a book where you bring thought and consciousness to every category. Let's start with four categories. Okay. So
mm,
first is yourself, your health and fitness. Second is your work, where it generates income, right? It grows your wealth. And
mm,
then third is, your social life, family and people around this relationships, right? And then the last part is your love life. So if you're in a relationship, it's your love life. How do you treat your spouse? How do you work out problems? How do you work out communication? So that the children, when they see how you relate to life, how you relate to work, is how they see how you are as a human being.
mm,
So for as a parent, when you think about your role and your purpose as a parent, what is it? Is it to provide happiness and fulfillment and joy and courage for your child?
mm,
So, we have all these different needs, right? Children have all these different needs. Children have this need for physical safety. So, when you provide a home and a roof and food, that's great. They feel safe. So, safety is fundamental. It's part of Maslow's theory, right? So, that's the
mm,
first one. Second is like psychology safe, in terms of psychological safety. So, they see, if you bring logic, do you bring rationale to life? When your kids question things, it's because they're curious, they're inquisitive, they want to learn life. So encouraging that is crucial, because children sees this as expanding, as growing. And if you leave that whole part to the school, and as a parent, you're not injecting that and not growing your child because you think that that's a responsibility of the school to help your children become healthy, productive adults. How much can the teacher do, right? So she's got so many
yeah,
kids in the classroom. So our,
yeah,
our education system is doing its best. All right.
mm,
And when we come to this process of thought, inquisitiveness, right? Asking questions, we want to raise adults who are inquisitive, who are bringing
mm,
intelligence to every part of their life. because a lot of us, we don't think a lot. The moment where we start emulating and receiving this programming that as our parents, our childhood, we bring that into our adult lives. And then it becomes our blueprint on how we operate our lives. So are you living life by default? Like literally what society, what the culturescape is saying, what you see on TV, how you emulate your parents, how you see religion, every part of it. Does that, are they in line with your own values and your own beliefs? Do they jive well? So is it because they thought, so I have to think this way? Is because society thinks this way, I should get a job and be financially stable? Is that the only way to succeed in life? No. So this is where bringing consciousness, not living life by default, where the wind blows you, right? And also defining your values and your beliefs through the culturescape, through your family, through whatever you inherit in your childhood. So bringing that adult, that being, means asking questions, bringing intelligence. So if your kids are asking questions, it's because they are curious. So encouraging that inquisitive nature is going to grow them into inquisitive adults. It's going to become thoughtful, where they're going to grow their intelligence. So having those psychological safety, where you bring that into your kids and they emulate that, so they're going to become more intelligent adults. There's no doubt. So having all that safety structures built into your family, into your kids, is important.
Basically to have a safe environment for them to encourage the curiosity, that they ask
To encourage the curiosity.
questions safely, that
Yes.
they can ask any
Yes,
safe
encourage
questions.
that. Yes.
Wow. All right. How about coming into the teenagers issues? When the teenagers, when they're growing in between kids into preteen and teenagers, that kind of stage is that they're always confused. They don't know what to do. Where are they going to next level? What am I going to become? They're always confused. And we as a parents, how do we guide them? And how do we reassure that they are not confused. They are actually growing up into the next whole new levels. I am at that
Yeah.
stage now. My daughter is constantly asking me, "Mommy this and mommy that." How I need to guide her properly. I need to make sure I'm not guiding her in a different way that I shouldn't be. Yeah.
So what are the areas you feel that you need to guide her in? Give me one area that's really important.
Besides the physical area changes, the physical changes that she's getting through, and a lot of she's started to getting curious into like in terms of relationship, like she see daddy mommy how they treat each other, the role model as we have to behave as, and kids are watching too much of YouTube these days, and they very curious into relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend. Mommy, what do I do? And how baby comes to life, and what does it mean when adult kiss? What happened? All these very very curious questions. Yeah, when they
So
going into preteen. Yeah.
yeah, so they're developing, right? So I think for that, Louise, you would know better, like if your child can handle these kind of conversations. And it's really good to have a very healthy relationship conversation with them, because they are emulating your relationship, how you operate as a mother and how your husband operates as a husband. So when you talk about relationships, right, it's showing them, it's giving them, and it's having a lot of communication. And not just words, but also what you do, like subconsciously, right? How you behave with your husband, they are seeing this, they are hearing this, and they're
Yes.
feeling it. So they're actually picking these traits up into the subconscious. And how you define, like for example, having a healthy relationship, getting them to read good books about relationship, or bring, let's say, enough on relationship, you think that there's enough fundamental foundation there, perhaps also bringing their attention to somewhere where they feel that they have interest. So a lot of parents, they want to also inculcate how to handle money, because we have this love of money, right? we love we want abundance, right, in our lives, so that we can have that holiday, we can bring our family, our friends, give them that experience, right, give our children education, right? So it's all that involves money. So there is some very healthy concepts of getting your child to learn the values of life. So perhaps starting a new business, a small business online, getting that attention where they're going to operate this online, perhaps selling something that, that's very easy for them to make or duplicate, and then learn how business is run, and then learn how to handle
Oh,
money and how to keep money, and then what to think
oh,
the next level, how do you want to grow the business. So even starting at the teen age is really
mm,
good to get kids into this next level of thinking, because you want to grow them to
oh,
be very productive adults who are farsighted, who first respects money, who knows how to
mm,
save, who knows how to take care of money, and then also how to grow a business. How do you know how, if
mm.
let's say you need to deal with customers, that language or that interaction and the values and the beliefs you need to bring into that, right? How to package your product, So involving them into the business is also a really great way of bonding and sharing
Mm,
values, right? Because we
mm.
see kids, like, they have their schoolwork, but beyond that, they're always curious, they want to grow. So they have all this ample time to really build themselves into the next phase of life, the adulthood. So in the teen years is a wonderful time to expose children to the little nitty gritty of adulthood, what's really important. So money, career, how to treat people, kindness and respect and empathy, and all this
Mm.
can really come out if you have that appropriate platform. And for you, Louise, you have a business, so it's a great way to involve your kids in the business.
Oh, wow. That's whole new mind opening. Exactly.
Mm,
And I didn't know that I can do that with the kids. Actually, I've seen kindergartens or schools that started involving kids into little, they have like events like the little children's markets, things like that. They have to make things into sellings and that kind of activities. That's quite cute. I didn't know that that's the whole new level of learning behind this, that they can learn the value of money, learn how to value the money's value, because children these days they get money, whenever they ask for. So this is
yes.
very important to inject that
Yes.
into that and
A
grow.
lot of us fear like, okay, why is this money thing so important, right? Um,
Mm,
because I'm asking you this question, right? We all work very hard for money, right? We spend so
mm,
much time and effort building wealth, but yet we have this fear of money. We have this limiting beliefs. So at this point of time, we fear money, but yet we want more of money, right? So, and this is a part a lot of women don't pay attention to, because we think that,
mm,
either we have a safety net that may come from our husband or spouse, or perhaps we think that what we have is just enough. But having this education of handling money and looking at money as a sign, as a symbol of human achievement, as a symbol of human productivity, it really
mm,
translates your perception of money, right? It's not just a dollar, it's not just a currency, but it represents your value of human productivity. The more value you add to people, the more money you can generate, right? So for example, for Claire, the products, right? The more you build your product and the more value you add to your customers, you are able to generate a bigger income. So,
mm,
I am teaching children, and one thing that they don't teach in school is understanding money. And that's where, you have all these kids, right? Go to school, learn, and then they come out and then they have to go into the workplace to earn money to build a life of, just comfort and
mm.
success. But we don't teach them how to do it. So
Yeah.
you have all these years, but that then they are kind of like hungry for knowledge, right? So there is this very good concept that I've learned from a very successful investor in the US, where there's a
Mm,
family bank. Okay, so the family bank, yes. So the family bank operates where the parents, mom and dad, put some funds into the bank to grow as a capital. That's the
mm,
foundation for the bank. Enough for
mm,
the kids, whatever they want. Could be a new pencil case, could be a new bag, could be anything, a new handphone, whatever it is, comes out from the bank. And that family
mm,
bank, whoever wants money will have to send a proposal to the parents. So they have this, monthly meeting. Yeah. And whatever the kids want, they have to put in a proposal, which is voted by the parents and any siblings in the family. They have to make the case why they want this new pencil case.
mm.
Yeah. And then
That's
they have to
nice.
pay back by either doing chores in the house or helping their parents out. So doing something extra that would translate into, an hourly payback of the hours given. So this is a really fantastic way to raise children to know that, okay, when I want something, let's talk about the values here. When I want something, I have to work for it. When I want something, I have to ask respectfully. I have to get approval, voting. I have to make my case by speaking, having courage. I have to think, right? And I respect money at the end. I respect this pencil case because I worked for it. And then they have to pay back because then, they understand the value of doing something, of making effort, of devoting time. So much
Right.
that they learn in this process. Can you imagine when they become adults? They're going to go into their adult world already having the right values of, how to treat people, right? Building relationships, making your case, having courage, respect for money, building wealth,
Yeah.
understanding how money operates in the system. So it's all these fundamental things that really really grow. Yes,
Amazing. When they work for the pencil case, then they will take care of the pencil case, right?
yes,
Right.
yes.
Instead of I told my kids there's no free lunch in the world. Is that the right way to say it? We work hard for
there's
it.
no there's no yes. You have to you work for it. Because it's through your effort that you see value. Yeah, and you just and you yourself are going to be happy, and the people around you are going to respect it. So and creating that sense of respect and love for devotion of work, for effort is something that is foundational. It's important.
So you have kids program as well for wealth
I
and value.
no, but I do have coaching for children above the age of 12.
Mainly
Yes.
understand the value of money and stuff like programming and principle and respecting and all that. Wow.
Building a
Okay.
foundational identity. Yes. Yes. So that they have,
Amazing.
it's all these values of courage, discipline, empathy. Yeah. And then, just showing up so that they become healthier, productive, more optimized adults.
Hmm. I'm just curious, do parents send you the kids that they cannot handle?
I have in my initial days as a
Oh.
coach because I do NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. So
Mm,
changing mindsets and changing behaviors very quickly using some techniques and processes. So yes,
mm,
I have had kids who come in who had either the character of the struggles of not being disciplined enough with schoolwork or
mm,
just not doing the things that they were told to do. So,
mm,
so it's helping the parents and the kids to build that relationship, and also helping the children to get through to know what's really important. So they see the light.
So at the end of the day, you shift the whole character
Yes,
for the kids.
yes, and it happens for the
Wow.
kids and the mom and the parents. Yes, because all parties have to shift a little bit to understand what's really
Mm,
important. That for parents, you can't push control on the kids. You have to also respect that the kids also have their desires and their thoughts, and they have to be heard.
mm,
Because emotions, if you push it down, like if let's say you see this child who's constantly frustrated because they express, but yet they don't feel respected. They don't feel that their point of view is taken into account. So when you
mm,
encourage that into a child, right, and you keep pushing down their desire and they always feel frustrated and they're always yelling, they have to raise their voice to be heard, then you know that they are feeling that the emotions are being pushed down. So emotions, when you push down, either you pay now or you pay later. They're going to
mm,
become a lot more frustrated as children, as a kid, and then that will show up in behavioral problems. So when you have this conversation where both parties address it by as a mom, you sit down and you talk to your kid and say, why do you want this, and you have these conversations that are
mm,
important, and you bridge that gap, right? And where your
mm,
child feels like she's heard, like you listened and you respect it, and then you find a solution that works for both of you, then that's a great way to move a relationship. Then the child understands that this is the way to cultivate. If I want something, I don't have to yell, I don't have to scream. I know I can have a logical, rational chat with my parent, and we can find a solution. We can find, how we can solve the problem.
Wow, amazing. So it's more about understanding the problem, the underlying problems behind it, behind the behavior, right? Instead of
Yes,
shipping everything under the carpet, which a lot of
yes,
people do.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So instead of just coaching the kid itself, usually you coach like together with the parents to solve the whole communication issues.
Yes, you have to.
Mm,
You have to, because if you're living in the same space, in the same house, you want harmony, you want joy.
mm. Right. Wow. Okay, guys. So now we understand, Lisa. We will solve family issues as well. So understand that behavioral issues is how we solve things together and find that solution together.
Mm,
Wow. Okay. I like that you're saying that not living life by default. That's about finding your true identity and find your value. And how
mm.
about, okay, I think we're getting into the guys, any more questions coming up? Um, okay, we are getting into questions. Topic number 4, designing your life. What do we do to get what we want in life? I think you covered quite a bit already earlier on, right?
Yes, yes,
Um, yeah, any more to
yes.
add on in terms of any other area aspect that we need to, especially right now? What are the things that, how do we get into starting? What are the small baby steps that we can kickstart for this?
Okay, so the first thing first is journal. Pen it
Mm,
down so you bring thoughts and clarity. So, if you have everything this in your head and you're constantly moving around and you have 100 things, right, in the head, tasks, especially if you're a mom, and then if you run a household and you have a job. So, journal, put it down, and then ask yourself, what makes me happy in my workplace, right? What do I want to achieve at work? And what's my purpose? What drives me there? Do I see, do I have an aptitude? Am I enjoying my work? Am I getting better at it? What is my future? Do I see a future? Do I see, my bosses encouraging scaling or just leveling up? Do I have that motivation? Do I have that environment that's positive? So all those things come into factor, right? And then bringing, for each one of us, it will be a very different scenario, right? So if, let's say, you find, okay, I need this job for the next few months because of the condition and the environment, so stay with it, but then have a look out on other areas that you want to grow and see other companies, potentially if you want to have a new skill, then learn that skill. Who else in my circle has that skill, right? Who else in my circle can help me out? So utilizing your network power. Who do I know that can help me? If you want to start a business, right, you can do it at the side, dipping your toe into it, trying it out. Who can I collaborate with? So what do you need in that? You need, in your identity, you need courage. You need to know that, if fear is going to stop me, look, there's only so many years all us mortals have on this planet. And I'm going to ask you one crucial question. If you drop dead today, I know it's a tough one, right? Because any of us, we all think that we're going to live healthily, right? But we never know when our time is up. And that is an honest comment, right? We never know. So if things work out our way, we take care of our health and our well-being, and we live to the ripe old age, let's say 85, okay? But if, let's say, we do adopt it this moment, how have we lived our life? Have we become the parent that we are proud to be? Have we impacted others the way we wanted? Have you lived your life to the goals that you want for yourself? Are you in the driver's seat of your life? So if you feel like those questions, like no, 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 then start. Anywhere you start, any age is a starting point. So you can start doing it now. Start changing, start pivoting now to live the life that you want. So draw out on your journal, what is the life that you want? What is your ideal life? What does your ideal day look like? What does your ideal weekend look like? And in this area, have that purpose, have the vision. What do you see? Where do you see yourself? What drives me to become the person that I want to be? To become a better parent, to become a better colleague at work, to become a better worker, or in my career growth, in my financial growth, in my family, in my spiritual growth, in my health and fitness. When all of this are you factor them in, you're going to be living a fulfilling life, because we don't want to live a life where we feel we are accumulating wealth at the expense of our health. We're accumulating wealth at the expense of our relationships, because that is not a successful life, right? We want to be happy. We want the people who matters to us, our kids, our family, to be happy too. So start living that, start being that person. If you have to close the gap, find professional help, because there are help out there. And then you can accelerate your growth, literally unlocking, dismantling the chains that hold you back from reaching your full potential. Because if you look inside each of us, right, every one of us here, if we look into ourselves, we have a lot of potential. Are we living to our max? Are we living to our fullest potential? Because it's so sad to drop dead and know that we didn't live to our full potential. Or to live to 85, right, that age, and in your dying bed, you're crossing over to the next realm, to have so many regrets in life. So that's a crucial question. Don't live like immortals, because at the end of the day, we are mortals.
Yes.
So live that life, live that fulfilling life, be in the driver's seat of your life.
Wow, very powerful. Being the driver's seat of your life. That is very powerful, guys. Very crucial questions that you need to have to ask yourself. Wow, guys, let's it's coming to the next lucky draw already, right? Any questions, please? You can still let it in, right? Because Lisa's still here to take your questions. Okay, let's bring out the next lucky draw. What are we giving away? I think next one is keyword #Claire. All right. We're giving away one of our best-selling sea salt rose hips whitening scrub. All right, and our bamboo spatula. I think we have sent another. I've sent a bundle to Lisa as well. How do you find it? Do you like it?
I love your stuff, Louise. I love your stuff. I love I love your soaps, the bar soaps. I find it very nourishing to the skin, so yes, I love the smell. And because it's so natural and so kind to my skin, I'm just not putting anything chemical. I'm not harming my skin. So it's a huge motivation. Yeah, it's a huge drive.
Wow.
Thank
I
you.
love it. I love how you feel about when the products on your skin. It's all natural, and then the scent is all pure essential oil as well. So there's no artificial fragrances. So
Yes.
when there's a natural scent, I think most of us, we can identify whether it's too strong or whether it's too natural, and that is that is, so far said, it's lovely. Yes.
Yes, I
Okay,
love
guys.
aromatherapy oil. So sometimes I just place it on my skin or on my body, just like a lotion. Like I use a little bit, a few drops, and I just rub all over. So I love the smell. It's just so knowing that it's on your skin, and when you're working, you're smelling that lovely lavender oil. Is just so calming and therapeutic.
Okay. So lavender is one of your favorite scents.
Yes, love lavender.
Right, guys. Yeah. Okay. Coming who's the first next? Okay, Wendy. Okay, congratulations, Wendy. And that is, you're walking away our very special whitening sea salt scrub. Congrats. Yeah, coming to the final tips, kindness tips from, let's hear from our Lisa. What is your self-care routine or your self-love tips when you talking about how do we since we are talking about the life that we want to, so living a life that we want, how should we take care of ourselves?
My
Or how
pers-
do you, what's your self-care routine?
My personal self-care routine, I love aromatherapy. So I pamper myself with good, sometimes these products can be a little bit on the high side, but for me, it's
Mm.
pampering, it's taking care of myself. I work hard, and so these are like my give back, right? Self-care. And I also love a good massage. So I go for massages, and I think
Mm.
I'm also seeing myself being very cloudy there. Okay, back onto
Oh,
being
is
clear.
that?
So yeah, so a good massage, and for me, I do a
Mm.
lot of workout. So
Mm.
being in nature, I do runs, and I go into where it's green. That really
Mm.
makes me feel good. So being very close on Mother Earth,
Mm.
I just feel good. So that's for me. It's a way of relaxing. It's a way of being grounded. It's a way of just saying thank you.
Mm, right, yeah. I love being in when you're in nature and you're so close to the Mother Earth, you feel so grounded. That is when that's when we get closer to our subconscious as well. Am I
Oh
right?
yes, yes, our true self. Yeah, you just feel, and it's something about being human, right?
Mm,
Because all of us at the end of the day, we are made up of things that are made in the universe. It's all carbon,
mm,
an atom, and whatever it fixes us, it's the same thing that actually occurs in the earth. So
mm,
there is something spiritual there. I think for all of us to define, really depends on where you defined it. But for why we feel so close to nature, why we love the sound of water trickling, why we
mm,
love to be on grass, or just smell just trees and plants
mm,
and flowers. Why those attract us, right? So there must be something deep and spiritual.
mm. Wow, I like that. Then guys start taking care of the environment. And this is where during the pandemic, I believe the environment has recovered quite a bit from there.
Yes,
So that
yes.
is on the bright side that we're looking at it. That's the bright side that we're looking at. Right, guys. Yeah, I think that's basically that's it. Right, guys. Do you want more from Lisa? I think there's a lot for Lisa to cover, and then this is just touching a little bit of the corner. Yeah,
Yeah.
comment yes if you want more from Lisa. Comment yes. Is there a lot? Yes. Okay, guys, feel free to connect with Lisa after the show. I believe if you have a lot of questions, if you things that's holding you back in life that you want to, or you simply want to find your purpose or find your own identity, feel free to connect with Lisa. You can find her pages and the contacts at the comment area. Please connect to Lisa, right, with Lisa after the show. All right. Yeah, thank you so much, Lisa, for all
Thank
the
you.
tips that you have been sharing and for your time and your wonderful sharing. It's been so inspiring. Your story as well. So inspiring. I didn't expect that at all. Very inspiring. That is very awesome. And
Thank you.
everyone here as well. They are just so all draw jobs. Right,
Thank you so
guys.
much, Louis. Just last word
Yeah.
here, that
Mm,
yeah, the one thing
yeah,
let's
your
say
last
you're
word.
saying, right, Louis, be in the driver's seat of your life. This is the one
Mm,
life that you have. And every moment is ticking, right? One day is one day short to your existence here on this planet. 1 month is one
mm,
month short. So live that purposefully, live that fulfillingly. Because whenever you go, right, and you cross over to the next realm, you know that this is the life that you're proud that you have lived to your best and there are no regrets. So let's aim for that. And let's not define our lives and our goals by what society tells us, by what we inherited from our parents. They lived their life to the best they can in their time. Now it's our time. So define that by your own values and what you want, and may you succeed. May you have the greatest fulfilling life that you can. So thank you, Louise, for having this opportunity to talk to everybody here in the Kindness Show.
amazing. That is such powerful and strong ending for everyone. The last word here, guys. I hope you have learned so much today and taken down all the important notes. Right? I have learned so much. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank
Take good
you.
care,
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah.
Have a
Have a
great weekend,
wonderful
everybody.
evening. Yeah. Have a wonderful evening. Good night. Okay, yeah, guys. Thank you, Lisa, from all the wonderful sharing. I'm still here, okay? Okay, to wrap up the show of the day, for those who has joined us today, don't forget your hashtag Claire23, your special hashtag to get your special free gifts of the day, right? Coming right up next session, we're gonna talk about how do we take care of our
ourselves in terms of getting ourselves keep moving, and how do we it's a Mandarin session. We talk about something like a yoga. We're gonna have like a live demonstration where you can move around, move together along with our life coach on this yoga session next show. OK， 这个是华语的，下一期是一个华语的访谈节目。OK， 下一期是一个华语访谈节目，我们会谈关于我们居家防疫如何保持这个筋骨活络，就是怎么样去做一些伸展运动啊，怎么样去做一些保持我们的一些身体上的一些伸展的类似这样的一些活动。我们一起来跟我们的教练一起来运动哦，下个星期我们不见不散。Okay, see you guys on the next show. Everyone out there, please take good care of yourself, wash your hands, and I know some of us can't wait to be out there. Keep yourself on the hygiene and watch your SOP as well. Have a very good, wonderful evening to all of you. Yes, Jasmine 华语的，下一期记得来哦 Jasmine. Okay, alright guys, good night, bye. See you guys on the next session. 下一期见哦，拜拜，晚安。
When my daughter was born, I realized that the market was full of products with all kinds of harmful chemicals. So I created this line of all natural body care products. At Claire, we pride ourselves on using only natural ingredients for all our products. It's all 100% chemical free, and most of my products are even safe for baby use. We're passionate about inspiring people to become a more caring and kind society, and also one that cares for the environment. I guess it's like a unique calling, a life mission.